Nicole here. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day. Toby, are you happy for Valentine's Day? I'm still single as fuck. Oh my god. Are you allowed to swear on YouTube? I guess so. Maybe it's because I have a messy closet. Okay. So, back by popular demand to complain about being single. Like, I've been single forever. Seems like it anyways. And the only child I have is this one. Some people do not like when you pretend that animals are humans, but I love it. I'm like, look at this baby! Except that when you train them to be like a baby, they act really spoiled, and this one is spoiled now. Toby, are you a spoiled boy? Take a look at the camera. Time to be famous. This is my date for today. Toby. Yeah, still single forever. And I've come to a place of extreme acceptance. I guess love is just meant for other people, and I don't have it in my wheelhouse. Don't be. But yeah, I actually think that there's low-key a cock-blocking demon who, like, goddamn, do you really have to go out? Can't you just stay with me? Fine then. You're free to do what you want. He'll be back. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna sit on something. Shall we? I don't know. Anyways, I'm here. Why don't you spend like a nice evening with me? I just feel like, once again, I'm sick, and so I'm making a video. I don't know if you can see my makeup very well in this light. Oh, you can. But it kind of makes me look like I have measles. Shoot. I think there's too much sparkles. Wait, I have an idea. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah. I think I put too much on. And you can hardly see it. Now I'm gonna light my hair on fire accidentally. I don't think so. No, it's too scary. It looks like I'm gonna burn my cheek. I just want the sparkles of, oh yeah. Okay, that doesn't really work very well. Yeah, I don't know. Life is really tough. I am a millennial. I don't think my soul came here knowing how tough it was gonna be. Okay, I thought I would be married. I thought I'd have my own house. And I thought I'd have babies. And still have nice clothes. And a couple vacations in my life. And did I say a house? I don't know what I thought as a kid. I didn't really think too far ahead. And I still don't. But I would like right now to give myself the stay-at-home mom experience, but the closest I can get to that is working from home. So, and I'm just like, yeah, like there's like some kind of demon. I call it the cock-blocking demon. Here is why I think I'm single. Okay. I know it's gonna sound a little crazy, but here it is. I'm pretty sure I'm single because there's a demon following me around, and every time I have a chance at like the little seed of love maybe starts to grow, the demon like swoops in and does what it can to stop that from happening. So I call it the cock blocking demon, because every time like the last year's relationship, he lived in England for more than half of the year. Like, and I told him, I'm like, I'll move to England. And he was like, no, because I want to move back home. It just didn't work. And then I think he was gay. I told you he'd be back. And then, I'm so hungry right now. I don't even have the energy for this. But I'm so single. Damn. Then I met this amateur comedian who asked for my number. So I gave it to him. But then he didn't seem to want to ask me out. I don't know. I just don't think... I don't know. And then, like, everyone's age and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't know. And then I even asked AI for help because on the internet everyone's like, oh, if you use AI to like schedule for yourself towards your goals, then AI can make like these milestones for you. I asked and AI just gave me the generic answer that every other person gives me. It's like, I already know. Put yourself out there, whatever that means. That's one way. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. And I think God and higher powers, for some reason, don't want me to get married. Actually, another story could be that I think one of my exes is in love with me, but repressed it, didn't want to admit, so he repressed. So then the love moved to the subconscious of his mind. And when it moved to the subconscious of the mind, in the subconscious, a lot's going on, and you have no idea how it projects out. So I think that he repressed the love went to the subconscious, and now that love is manifesting as the cock-blocking demon. I think that's what's going on, and it just makes me look crazy because I'm so intuitive that I can like see this and pick up on it and be like, hold up. But everyone else just thinks I'm crazy. But I'm pretty sure that is why I'm single. I have tried everything. Oh my God. And I still cannot find a suitable suitor. I even tried becoming Catholic. That didn't work. If that didn't work, I mean, I even tried the Jim Carrey method. I prayed to God and I promised to pray the rosary for 7 days if he gave me a boyfriend. I'm still waiting on the deliverance. Once I receive the boyfriend, that is when I will do the rosary for 7 days in a row. Jim Carrey said that he prayed to God for a bicycle and made a deal with God that he would pray, and he got it. So, Jim Carrey method, directly ask God. God. No, I'm serious. I mean it in a respectful way. God, Heavenly Father, please find a suitable suitor for me. I would like somebody who can anticipate my needs before I even know I have them. That's what I'm looking for. I want someone with good charm, good style. I want someone who's taller than me, which is a little bit hard to come by because I'm pretty tall. Although not a deal breaker, but I would really prefer it. Because I want to feel like a little spoon. Yeah. I don't want to be the big spoon. I want to be the little one. And what else? I want to be tall. Oh, I want to have money, of course. Let us not forget. Although, that's also not really as well. I mean, it would be nice. I definitely want him to have ambition. I definitely want him to have a future. I want him to have confidence in himself. I want him to be like his own person. Yeah. Which is so hard. Like, how do you even market that? Because, like, if I switch roles and pretend that I'm the guy, nah, I could do it. I think I could find a girlfriend easily if I was a guy. Easily. It just seems like there's so many women who I would date if I were gay. Or if I was a man. I'm neither. I'm a woman. So, And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking maybe she's gay and she doesn't know it. But I've had opportunities, and I can tell you. Number one, like, no. The woman, like, the times when those girls propositioned me, they were super drunk, and they did it on purpose. Like, there's been more than one occasion, and I noticed a pattern, which is that they get nervous, then they drink a lot, and I think, God damn, that girl's drinking a lot. I wonder why. And then, while she's good and drunk, she'll come to me and she's like, let's go to the bedroom and have sex. And I think to myself, my God, I think she purposely got drunk because she was nervous about propositioning me for sex. And I tried to get away from her. Ugh. Like, I said no. And then she like pulled me towards the room and I was like, God damn, girl, if you were a guy, I would be a little scared, but I think I could take you. So I'm pretty strong. And I recently have started swimming, and I'm teaching myself how to swim. I never knew how to dive. Now I can dive. And I could always the doggy paddle. But now I actually know how to swim. Like front crawl, breaststroke, backstroke. I love it. It's fun. I really like it. I like continuous movement, and I choose swimming as that. But I don't like running. I hate running. Every time I'm running, I'm like looking around thinking, I hate this. And I try not to think about that at all, because then like the more you think that you hate it, the more you're gonna hate it. So like, I'm like, okay, like don't think at all. Or lie to yourself and be like, I love this, until placebo effect kicks in. And no, but swimming, which is also very much high cardio. Well, it's hard cardio, but you can still build muscle while swimming. And anyways, so high cardio. And I was like, but I love swimming. Yeah, I do not mind that. I like swimming quite a bit. I don't know, I think it's because like being submerged in the water kind of forces me to like immerse my brain into the experience, whereas running, not so much. But with the water, yeah, easily. So I recommend swimming. But yeah, single AF. And it's because of the cock blocking demon, just to recap. Not because of any shortcomings that I may have. And yeah. Oh, and I don't know, like maybe it's not my ex's subconscious. What if it's my own subconscious? Actually, that's more than likely. I think that's definitely a factor. The subconscious is really the one that's like pulling the strings of life, and the ego, the conscious part of your brain, is kind of like just going along for the ride, but it thinks that it's in control. Classic ego. But really it's just making sense of the world and kind of going for the ride. It's the subconscious, which is scary because subconscious. That's why it's good to have good thoughts that like they trickle in, because your consciousness talks to your subconscious. I'm not really doing a good job of staying on topic. I just noticed with the YouTube channel that like any video that I title anything to do with being single gets a lot more hits than anything else. So I'm like, maybe just stick with that. That's my branding. I'm single. Like, can you use your singlehood as a branding? I guess so. If it could make me money, I would do it. Sure, why not? No problem there. I want money so I can buy a mid-century modern cottage on a lake, because you only live once, hopefully, because if past lives are real, oh fuck, but like you only live once, and it's kind of like, why not do what you can to get a cottage on a lake? Like, I don't see any other luxury that I'd rather have. Then you could get a little boat, a little motorboat, and you could tear around on that motorboat. Then you could get real high and drive on that motorboat. You probably shouldn't do that though. Oh, I wonder if it glitches. It stopped. It froze. I have a feeling that it... No. Oh. It still works. Well, maybe I'll just start this whole video over again, because this one kind of sucks. Yeah. Let us try again. But I am looking very, very, very pretty. Like, I must say, I'm looking hella good. And, I'm happy about that. I think that matters. Like, I don't know, when I post these videos, I think, like, I shouldn't, like, I definitely am thinking about the audience, but now that I'm already kind of scrapped this, I think I'm just gonna, okay, like, this video is not for YouTube, so you can say whatever you want. Nobody's gonna see it, Nicole. Say what you want. You can be you, girl. You're alone. You're free to be yourself completely. Completely! Well, if I'm gonna be myself, then number one, I am discontented. I will say that. Yeah, I will say that I'm discontented about, I don't know, like, lately I haven't been feeling as lonely. But the depression has been trickling a little bit, and I'm like, fuck, like, when I'm not depressed, I actually flat out, I'm like, oh, when I'm depressed, that actually isn't, like, there actually is a physiological component. It's not just me not taking care of myself or my thoughts. Like, no, there's like a real fucking physical component to it, and I'm like, oh, fuck, because I can feel it. I'm really good at pinpointing, like, the feelings in my brain, like, real good. I just, like, really focus on it, and actually, that's one thing with, like, DMT. I did so much DMT in my 20s that, like, I started to, first off, I built a tolerance, which, I don't know, building a tolerance to a psychedelic? What? I never even heard of that. But anyways, I built a tolerance to it. So I guess there's, like, this built-in, at least for me, there's this built-in effect of not letting it completely kill me or come take over my life, because now I can't get high from it. So, but in the process of building up this tolerance, I started to really notice that I could, like, change my DMT, my own stores of DMT within my brain at will, just by, like, it's hard to, like, how do you describe, like, how to raise your arm, but you know, like, how, like when I'm telling my body to do this, right? Well, it's the same kind of feeling, but instead of my arm raising, I'm just raising the levels of DMT in my brain. So I can't show you because it's inside my brain. But yeah, like, I can do that. And I'm like, okay, well, if I could do that with DMT, I wonder what other neurochemicals I can do that with. If I, like, can pinpoint when I actually feel them. Along this line, like, I definitely can feel dopamine hits. Ugh. I mean, that's part of the reason why I do these videos, is because I like getting the dopamine hits, and I can give it to myself because I'm looking at me and I'm giving myself a dopamine hit, which, and I'm creating something, whether good or garbage or neutral. At least I'm creating something. I don't know, but if you create something bad, well, we'd have to really dive into the definition of bad, but, like, if I create art that I deem bad, like, I guess that'd be, like, my art causes harm to other people somehow. I don't want that, so I just hope that God doesn't allow that to happen. Yeah. But yeah, like, oh my God. I can really, like, pinpoint those neurochemicals. And I like thinking about that. Because I like playing. And experimenting, like a scientist or a witch, which are kind of the same thing. This isn't milk, by the way. I don't drink milk. Not because I think it's unhealthy or healthy. I just don't drink milk anymore because I'm an adult. And then I told someone that, and they're like, you're definitely going to get osteoporosis. But I drank a lot of milk when I was a child. A lot. And I have very thick bones. My bones are very thick. I'm a thick bone person. So, I've never broken a bone. This is almond milk. Maybe it still has calcium in it. Or fortified. Anyways, I think that one thing that really tricks me up is the balance between consuming versus producing. So, like, with the phone, consuming the like the doom scrolling, and then, like, getting all these dopamine hits, and the way I controlled it was well, I deleted TikTok from my phone because, like, I'd be at work working from home and I'd be like 2 hours later, I was on TikTok the whole time. What the hell? Like, that's not sustainable. And also, it was bad for my brain because, like, sometimes it'd show me something that made me laugh, sometimes it'd show me something that made me sad, and it's like, what a roller coaster of emotion, like, in these short little clips. I don't think that's great for your body to go through, like, that mood swing kind of thing. Like, it's not natural. I don't know. I don't like it. And I also, yeah, doom scrolling, but I think it's okay. Like, everything in moderation, right? Like, or do I just cut it out completely? But I think one thing that works, so one thing I did was I, like, stuck it to just before bed, and that's it. Which is one way to control it. Although I don't think it's great to look at that stuff right before bed for sleep hygiene. So, yeah, I want to see if I can go a week without using my phone other than just for my phone. Like, use the alarm, texting, and calling, and GPS, and music, but no Instagram, no YouTube. No Instagram, no YouTube, and no Reddit. I don't really go on Reddit on my phone, but I do on my computer, and it always makes me sad. No offense, Reddit, I'm not coming for you. I think there's probably tons of content like make me smile, or subreddit make me smile. But the subreddits that I go to, they always make me sad. Like pretty sad. Not like depressed, but not like a chemical depression, but really just like pure sadness for what I am seeing in the world. I don't mean to be negative, but I think that, like, I wonder how other people are coping. Sometimes I find that I'm good in chaos and it calms me down. Well, I think that's because I have PTSD. Yeah, like, there's this weird flip that I've noticed where, like, okay, like, I'll get upset and people are like, whoa, you're really upset by this, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's upsetting to me. And then when, like, other things that are super upsetting to other people happen, I'm like, yeah, this is normal. This is, like, normal level chaos. Like, it kind of feels like being in a hot tub to me. Like, I'm like, yep, this is kind of feeling accurate to how my internal nerves feel. So it actually calms me down. To some degree, but I avoid the news. Yeah, I'm really tired of, like, these political leaders just taking up too much space in my mind rent free. No more! I'm evicting you from my mind. I just can't with them anymore. I really can't. These leaders, like, I don't know. I looked at Bernie Sanders stuff and he was like, we're living in an oligarch. Is that how you say it? Oligarch? So basically rich people have the power, just like Marie Antoinette style. But I'm feeling too lazy for a revolution. Like, I'm not going to get mad at Marie Antoinette when she tells me to eat cake, even though I don't have bread. But, like, actually, I don't know. I just know that I don't really think we have any good examples of actual leadership other than more in smaller groups. Like, I don't know, I have a priest that I really, really like, and he's a really good leader. Like, he's really good at planning things. He tells people well in advance. He's very reliable, very transparent. Things, all good qualities for leadership. Transparency! Be transparent! One time when I was little, I had this uncle who was in his 90s, and I was like, he seemed to be in his 90s his whole life. But anyways, and I kid you not, you could see every vein in his face. Every vein. And as my 6-year-old brain, like, my parents are, like, pushing me to hug him and be polite to him. And I just thought, oh my God, my parents are giving me away to a zombie. I was like, how dare those people giving me away to a zombie? Actually, it was my Uncle Frank. It wasn't a zombie at all. He just had very translucent skin at that age. So transparency, like, we really, really need it. I need to see the whole system. I need to see the blood vessels to know how it works. And I'm not seeing it. And you're so, like, tight-lipped about the information that I want. Like, the government's very, like, and these oligarch leaders are very tight-lipped. They're very tight-lipped, even during elections. Like, maybe the most tight-lipped they are. And I'm like, can you give me some information that I'm actually can use? Like, God, like, government reform. We need election reform, okay? No more, like, if one of my coworkers told me that I was making up lies, I'll be shocked. I'll be very shocked. Like, I think what people forget in healthcare and in politics, actually, surprisingly, is that a job is actually, if there's a reason to be professional, is so that everyone can come as hassle-free as possible and get their shit done. And get the fuck out so that you can go have some real fun. Like, not that work can be fun, but get the reward, you know? Go get that reward. And I don't know. Like, the politics has really taken over. And I know this is Valentine's Day, but look, do you see a handsome man beside me? All I have is my lonely thoughts, and lately it's been political. I like politics, but I also hate it. I hate the lies. I really like truth, because truth, or in other words, reliable information, has a bigger impact on the end result, and I am very, very focused on end results. Yeah, like, incredibly so. Going back to dating, that's why, like, that's one thing I think that, I think some men seem haven't quite got this, so I guess I'll just be super direct and tell all my male audience that a woman needs to believe that you can be a good leader and take care of her so that she can lie back and do what she needs to do. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I don't really know what men are looking for in women. Mostly I think they're looking for a sexy body. I don't know. Men are kind of dumb in that way. I'm sorry. You're not dumb to all the guys. You aren't. You actually aren't dumb. I love you quite a lot. I love you more than the women. I mean, I could be a lesbian quite easily. So obviously this is proof that I quite like men the way they are. No need to change. But to the ladies, oh my God, men are kind of dumb. Like, I don't know. I don't have the language. I can't quite pinpoint. But it's like we're speaking different languages. Like, when I ask men, like, okay, what are you looking for? And they say these things, and I'm like, number one, just be honest. I don't care as long as you're honest. But, like, okay, so you're looking for big boobs. Okay, because evolutionarily, somehow in the genes, it's like big boobish is gonna be making lots of babies. That's like what the subconscious is thinking. The ego often is not thinking that. The ego is just thinking sex. And not really thinking about the reasons behind it and spirituality and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, like, I just find them to be very simple-minded. Like, one thing at a time, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. And I think we need that. But, oh my God. Like, I was born into a family. I have no brothers. I have no male cousins. And all my aunts got divorced. But my parents stayed together, so the only male in my family is my father. And he worked a lot. So, not a lot of male influence in my life. And I had no idea, but the girls who have brothers, they just know right away, like, how to kind of give them that, like, whereas me, I was just kind of like, why aren't they treating me right? Whereas those other girls would just be like, psst, and get them to treat them right. And I was just like getting really into my feels about how like mistreated I was. Probably should have just, I don't know, told them, hey, stop that. I don't know. Yeah, kind of crazy, the differences between men and women. Like, very different. Very, very, very different. But I really like a good man. I don't know. There's something about the simple mind when it says something really wise and you're like, yeah, I could follow you. You know? You know, and do what I can to help you on your endeavors. And hopefully you like me and do what you can to help me. Otherwise I'm going to be screwed. All alone on this planet. I've been reading Into the Wild, which is the Chris McCandless? I don't know how to say his name. McCandless? And it's a Scottish name too. McLean. McCandless. McCandless? McCandless. McCod. It's not like cod like the fish though, is it? McCandless. McCandless. Anyways, he walked into the Alaska wilderness, but not that far into it. And then he ended up dying. I'm almost done it. I have 50 pages left. And I don't know. I read Into Thin Air. 2 books I highly recommend. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, what do I want to say to myself? I want to say, well, originally I started making these videos thinking that like my children would have something to look back on. Now I don't think I'm going to have children at all. It ends with me, ancestors. It ends with me. All that work, all that DNA, and I am the leaf that buds from that branch. Because I'm not going to have children. And why am I not going to have children? Because of the cock-blocking demon. If it were up to me, I would already have a house. I would already have 3 children. And I would just spend all my time cooking, cleaning, and taking care of my body and my children and shopping. So like that'd look like yoga, daily yoga class. Probably a daily visit to the grocery store every other day or every other 3 days. Probably around there. Probably a thrift store shopping trip on the Saturday maybe once a month. It would be the cooking every day. That would be a change. But if I didn't have to work, I think I would enjoy it. If I could get paid the same amount for cooking that I get paid for engineering, would I rather do that? Yeah, but the hours are shit. I don't know. If I could be a private chef for but I'm not even that good at cooking, so how am I gonna get hired as a private chef? It's not doable unless I put a significant amount of energy in that direction, and I'm not willing. So, yep. What else? Art, sisters, Valentine's Day, singleness, loneliness. Yes, I am lonely. Oh, what was I saying about consumption versus, consuming versus producing? So the doom scrolling, well, producing work, like producing a video, that is important. That's important. Do you think I kind of look like Grimes? I kind of do look like her a little bit. Just a tiny bit. On the right angle. And if I do my makeup correctly, I can make myself look more like her. this eyebrow to go a little up. Yeah, like that. Just a little up. But not a lot, just a little. Sometimes I look at celebrities and I think to myself, oh my god, what would their face look like now if they never got any plastic surgery? We'll never know. We'll never get to see their natural age, like their natural face at that age. Ever. It doesn't even exist. Weird. I'm scared of plastic surgery because if you change your face and you don't like it, how will you ever go back? Although Renee Zellweger kind of did that. I wonder what she'd say about it. Everyone gave her backlash. They're like, we no longer recognize you. And she's like, oh goddamn. Oh goddamn. Shouldn't have got rid of those hooded eyes. Yeah. And then like, what is this with like, okay. I guess I might as well talk about things that I've been thinking about. I think that it hurts my heart that Elon gets glorified in this world for some pretty terrible behavior. I don't like when bad behavior is rewarded. It's not great. Like, I think to myself, my god, that boy is... And that goes back to, like, men being psychologically a lot weaker than women. Men physically are stronger, and women are a lot weaker physically than men in general. But women, psychologically, are a lot stronger than men. So you win some, you lose some, right? Like, I think given the same childhood exactly, a girl, she might get pregnant as a teenager and have to live on welfare for quite some time. Get a couple tattoos, you know, make a few bad choices, pop out a couple kids, 3 different fathers, none of those guys stick around, and she's a single mom for life. Okay. Now the boy, the same exact shit childhood, you're gonna go shoot up a school. Like, psychologically weak, you know? They're psychologically weak. The girls, they're just like, come hell or high water, I am fucking staying level-headed. Like, and the boys are just like, I can't tolerate. And I'm like, So I guess that means when you're stronger than somebody else, you kind of have a responsibility to take care of them. Yeah, like if one of your friends gets super drunk and wasted. Yeah, if one of your friends gets super drunk and wasted at when you're out and about and you're less drunk, it's on you to get that group home, you know? So, with the man being stronger than the woman physically, it's on him to build her a house. But with the woman being psychologically stronger than the man, I guess it's on the woman to be nice to the man? I don't know. I know I said psychologically, we're still all humans. It doesn't mean that I'm smarter than any one man. Nah, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying psychologically stronger. You could be you could be a real dumb mofo and still be psychologically strong. And you could be smart as fuck, and a lot of smart people are psychologically very weak. So yeah, the man, not as psychological, like, so basically your resilience to trauma, I guess is what I mean by psychological strength, but it's more than that too, or different than that, not quite that, because it misses the part where women can think multiple things all at once, and men don't seem to be able to do that. I don't know. Are these relations useful? General relations? General relations. I think that would be a good album title. General relations. Like in general. Generally, we relate. General. Very basic. Very general. General relations. That would be a good album title. It wouldn't be bangers, though. It would be more like Board of Canada stuff, but even less of a hit with the beats. I have fantasies of producing music, but I'm shit at it. I tried learning Ableton. I fucking suck. And I thought about even getting a Apple computer for GarageBand, but I tried the GarageBand on my phone and I sucked at that too. And I was like, I can't invest this money in something that I'm going to fail at. Like, I don't think my brain's wired to making music beats on Ableton Live. Like, I just don't. I never liked the computer. I never even liked I liked video games, but only when we were all together in the real same room playing them. That was fun. And it wasn't so much about the game. It was more about how people reacted to what happened in the game. Very Libra of me. Maybe I should make a political video about what I want to say to the general public. General public. What I want to say to everyone is breathe. Don't let any fool ruin your day. That's what I want to say. Yeah, we all own this earth. Like, every single living thing owns it. You own everything and nothing all at once. All of us do. And so, like, humans have this weird we play this weird game where we see what we can get for ourselves. And right now we're not really into sharing resources very well at all. I don't know very much about history, but from like a godlike perspective or angelic perspective of what I imagine an angel or God would look down and say or think about what's going on in the situation of us not sharing resources and this being wealth inequality and causing serious late stage capitalism, climate crisis, and it's all connected, just like your body, you know. My thumb is connected to my toe, right? Like, on one body. It is all connected, like these social systems, and yeah, it's all connected, you know, and it's all coming from out of our minds too. Like, I honestly do wonder and ponder, does this room exist when I'm not in it? Like, when we all show up at church on Sunday, the sanctuary's there because we believe it will be, or because it's actually there. Maybe everything really is flat out projection, hallucination, but you're real too, and so it's not just me that contributes to the story. So that's why it's like this weird mixed soup of like when you're something, you really are controlling your body. Like, we really are in control of how we share resources. Like, it is totally within our control, but it has to do with changing the mind. Yeah, because when you start eating candy every day before bed and pizza, reminds me, I'm really hungry right now, actually. I could go for some salad and chicken, but I want fancy food. Damn. But if I order fancy food, I'll have less money in the future. But I want fancy food now. Shit. What about the future? I want it now. I don't know what to do. I want to order the expensive salad, but I could just go without. I do have. Okay, is there an alternative? I could eat. I could eat some chicken wings, but I think they do have some light breading on them, which displeases me. Fuck those carbs. They don't deserve me. I deserve so much better than carbs. If I'm gonna eat carbs, I prefer white sticky rice to breaded wings. Okay. So that's, are they breaded? Yeah, they are breaded. Damn. Just like when you eat, like, is the food worthy of you? That's how I think of it. Like, is the food worthy? Is it worthy? Is this experience worthy of me? I think a lot of people kind of forget to remember that. But I'm here to remind you, you deserve to be treated like a king or a queen that you are. Okay? And when you receive treatment that is less than that, you're like, what the heck? So, like, that's how I feel. I'm like, I deserve the freshest meat, the finest textiles. That's what I deserve. And so do you. Yeah. But I'm thinking, what was I saying before I got distracted? I don't know. Damn. Something about politics? Oh, about sharing resources. The most important thing, the crux of the whole issue. How could I forget? We gotta be generous. We gotta ramp that generosity spirit way up within the human collective. Time to spend my days thinking and doing for others. Okay, that's it. If I start doing that, maybe the human subconscious collective will get on board real quick. All my magic in that arena. And so, time to go shovel. Time to go shovel your neighbor's driveway because you know there's old mofos. We got the boomers to take care of. We gotta go shovel someone else's driveway. And at the very, very, very least, if you focus on giving somebody else a good day, you have ran away from your own torment of your own inner world successfully. That is the way. How can I help you? What do you need? You need a favor? I'm here to help. I will shovel that driveway. I will deliver your groceries to you. I will babysit your kids for free. I'll take your child to a trampoline park to give them a good experience for their birthday. But ultimately it's because I am depressed as fuck of my own single life, and I am very tired of thinking about my singleness and wallowing in self-pity at times and despair. Only to get back at the horse, only to face failure once again. So, I'm tired of those thoughts. I'm tired of those vibes. It's time to switch it up. And that's the best, fastest, most efficient way. Give somebody else a good day. So, if tomorrow's a snowstorm, I'm gonna be trapped at home. So, I guess I'll have to give my mother a good day. Time to do a deep cleaning of the house. And I'm giving the house a good day. I think the house probably would like to have, probably your house probably enjoys being vacuumed and dusted and mopped. Yeah, I think the house itself will enjoy that. Like a spa day for the house. If I am not receiving a spa day, which I'm not, nobody's taking me to the spa, which I totally deserve for Valentine's Day. Completely. But nobody's taking me to the spa. So I must give a spa-like experience to another. I think in this way, this would talk to the universe in a more loud way. which will entice the universe to give me that. Maybe that's how it works. Maybe if I do that, wait a minute, with that logic, what do you actually want? Because you don't want a spot, well, you do want a spot A, but you want a boyfriend. So I gotta give a boyfriend to somebody else in order to get a boyfriend? How do you give a boyfriend to... Okay, take out the boyfriend, girlfriend. If you want friends, you have to be a friend in order to get friends. Alright, and this totally makes sense, right? Because if you feel super lonely and you're like, oh fuck, I have no friends. Well, okay, that's like the starting spot. 0 friends. Pretty hard to get friends when you have 0 of them. So, now, paradoxically, you have to become the friend. You have to and so instead of getting mad at other fuckers, I shouldn't call them that, but instead of getting mad at the others for not calling you and inviting you out, you must call them and invite them out. Right? And if that don't work, which it probably won't, not at first, but it will in time, then you think, okay, within your circle of influence of the people you do know and do interact with, and within like normal circumstances, like, you know, so like, if you see somebody seems to be struggling with their homework, offer to help them with their homework. Be like, hey, you want to study together? The person will probably say yes because they need the help. And you are helping them. So you have to be a friend to get friends. So, okay, with manifestation, I have to be a boyfriend to get a boyfriend? I don't think that makes full sense to my mind. How can I be a boyfriend? I'm not a man. How do you apply the logic? Okay, let me think. If I want a boyfriend, if I want to have friends, I must be a friend. Well, number one, that is a first good starting spot. Because the more friends you have, the more chance of meeting a boyfriend via friends, which I think would be the best and most likely and strongest way to start a relationship. Common friends. So the more friends you have, the more likely within a certain range, because too many friends, then you don't have enough time to spend maintaining those relationships, and the relationships will die. So yeah, within the sweet spot of the right amount of friends, that would maximize the chance. So already that idea of being a friend and doing favors for other people and getting relationship street cred, so that ultimately I will have more circle of influence, a bigger circle of influence, and increase my chance of finding a suitable mate. And step by step, all I have to do to get there is keep doing favors for people and be nice to them. Smile, make them feel like they are valuable. They are valuable. You are. And I'm not just doing that because I want a boyfriend. You actually are. Even if I flat out knew I could never have a boyfriend, I would still know that you're valuable. Okay, so it's not inauthentic to like go with this strategy. And then, so how do I... Okay, so yeah, that's a plan. Also, another plan. I think both plans in parallel, deploy them both at the same time as much as possible. Here's a second plan, which I think is also a good idea. Go to a golf course. Men, I asked AI, where do men in their 30s and 40s hang out? Golf course. Oh, okay. They also like sometimes video game. I don't like video games, so I guess I'm gonna have to take up golfing. I don't give a fuck about golf, okay? I honestly don't. At this stage of my life, I do not care about my swing. I do not care about that stroke that I have. I do not care to perfect the skill set of my golf game. But a wealthy boyfriend at the golf course is where he may be. That is where he may find himself on a Saturday at the golf course. Once the weather turns, once the golf season starts, I'm going to get myself some golf lessons. And I'm going to hang out at those golf courses. And I'm going to play those games. And then I'm going to, after the game, come into the socializing area, the bar, these golf places have bars in them, I think. I don't know because I haven't been to one. Kind of fancy. And the men who just finished their golf game come in, get a drink, and talk about the golf. That is the time. That's the time. When you take a good look around and you talk to someone you like the look of, and you can look at their finger to see if they're married or not. If they are not wearing a ring, they still might be married. But if they're wearing a ring, they're married. So, okay, those are the 2 plans set in motion. That's what I'm going towards. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my golf game on. And it works out pretty well because I do like being outside, and it's kind of a weird, like, being on a golf course. I have been on a golf course before. It's kind of a weird experience because, like, everything is so pristine, but you're out in, like, the sprawling nature. It feels very much like I'm in Alice in Wonderland at, like, the Red Queen's Gardens. I love it. It's very pristine. I love it. So, I like being on the golf course. That's very good. But no, I do not care at all about the game. I don't think I have to. I don't think that's important. I don't think I have to. I don't care about golf. But it still would be a good exercise. Well, no, I don't think it's great exercise. You're still going to have to go swimming in the mornings on those Saturdays to keep up your regimen of fitness. To make myself as strong as possible. And that's the other life hack. Do what you can to give the power back to you. Make your body strong. Make your mind strong. Learn skills like gardening, swimming, building machines, fixing machines. Yeah, tangible skills. Do what you can for yourself. And that is giving the power back to yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to take that further, be very, very cautious with where your capital goes, because it is your capital. That is your dollar. And I think it's a good idea to keep that dollar physically as close to you as possible. So still spend it, but keep it physically close to you. So it is better for me if I know my neighbor makes bars of soap. It is better for me to go buy bars of soap, even if they're more expensive, from her, than it is to go to the store like Walmart and go buy Dove soap. Who do you think owns all these companies that sells all these products that we use all the time? So, yeah. Pay attention to exactly what your capital is supporting. Because I don't really think, who is it, Bezos? I don't think he need more money. I think he have enough. So we don't need to keep buying from Amazon. We should try and find it some other way. Last resort, Amazon. If he's the only one who can deliver it, sure. But no need to keep giving him all our business. Just give him the business that he can take care of, and give the business to the others that are physically close to you. So that way, all the money stays in the same community, and it doesn't trickle up to the bank accounts of these 1% people. Okay? That is the way! Please just do it, everyone. I don't know how to make myself famous and tell you all this, so I'm just hoping that YouTube magic will just fucking, like, human collective, subconscious, please absorb and act. Like, this is what God is saying. Oh, that was what I was going to go on about the angelic approach to what's going on. Well, number one, humans are way too harsh on themselves. Yes, I am a human too. But like, if I pretend to be an angel or God, that's the first thing I will be saying to you. Oh my God, you humans are way too harsh on yourselves. You gotta tone that down. Like, humans are like, we're so evil, we're sinners, and it's like, oh my gosh, but you think about all the good stuff you are. Like, yes, you are capable of evil. That is an unfortunate reality. That is the cost of free will. Is that we're capable of evil. Look. And unfortunately, evil just causes a whole bunch of chaos. That, like, at the end of the day, evilness, like, wow, evilness, greed, just like these myriad of like craziness, okay? So like, just know that like you were shoved off, like you're shoved out of the bosom of God, out of that nest. And your soul was shoved out. Now you landed on earth and you grow up. You have to learn everything from scratch, which is impressive in and of itself. We all learn to read. That's impressive. That's very impressive. But my God, we're so harsh on ourselves. We're like, we are ruining the planet. Well, actually, what we could say is we can do something about these problems that we're noticing. We can do something about this. Rather than saying, oh my God, we're so evil. We're ruining the planet. Okay. Yeah, that's not a productive thought because it leads nowhere. Instead, you say to yourself, I can do something about this. What? I don't know, but I'm going to do what I can, and hopefully the rest will just tic-tac-toe into place, domino style. Yeah, do what you can, because nobody know what to do, so you just got to do what you can. And I think that's a really good idea. I think I had a lot of great points in this video already of action items that you could take. Maybe use AI to, oh my God, actually maybe AI can edit my videos for me. Ooh, a good idea has come into my mind. Thank you, spirits. Also, that's the other thing. Most good ideas are coming from the angels and the good spirits. And the bad ideas are coming from the demons. I don't know how many ideas are genuinely from my own psyche. Probably none of them. I'm just a little robot channeler. I'm not a robot. I'm a powerful manifester who can do whatever the fuck I want to do. And what I want to do is have really, really, really good sex. It does really all go back to that. Why do I want a good boyfriend? For really good sex. Obviously, that is what I want. What else would I want? I already have a house because I need to survive in order to continue doing whatever I'm doing. Well, I'm already surviving on my own. I've been doing okay. Given the situation, I believe I will continue to do okay given this current situation. And when the situation changes, well, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to worry about it, you know? I'm not really a planner. I don't really plan ahead. I just kind of deal with it as it comes. An endless treadmill of problems. That's how I deal with it. Well, I do try and plan ahead though too, to prevent like bad things from happening. So like taking care of your health so that you can have good health. But yeah, I'm just going to take it as is. And so I really just want good sex. That's what I want. But that's not easy to come by because it requires a second individual. Well, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Well, okay, so maybe it's more than just sex. Maybe I want a relationship. Is it just sex though? No, it's not just sex. You want to fall in love with somebody. You want to get to know, but you want somebody who's worthy of your love. And unfortunately, there haven't been many. If any. Well, except for the ones that were, unfortunately, maybe I wasn't worthy of their love. Oh my God. See, cock-blocking demon problems again. Classic. I feel like Val Kilmer. I feel like if I prayed to to Val Kilmer. I think you might have an answer for me. Val! You were such a good looking man. You had an awesome career making movies. Give me your wisdom, please. Ask the higher powers to have mercy and start looking upon me with favor. Not just mercy. I want mercy, but I want even more than that. I want them to look upon me with favor and to give me presents every single day. Every day. The first thought that came to mind after saying that was that you'll become spoiled. No, I still want it. I don't see. Let me be spoiled. I guess being spoiled will make you weaker, which I don't want. Damn. Is there a way to get a present once a week and still be strong? I want presents from the higher powers. I want the gods to look upon me with favor. I want them to make me super famous so that I can be on the cover of Vogue and a whole bunch of people. I don't care about Vogue. Like, who cares about fucking Vogue? But I want the experience of being on Vogue. Like I want people fussing over me. I want them telling me how to move, where to look. I want them doing my hair, doing my nails, doing my makeup, putting me in a beautiful outfit. I want them to do that for me. That's what I want. How do you get that? You gotta become a model. How do I become a model? I don't know, but I was talking to one of my Gen Z friends, and he has some friends who started their, like, one thing that's really good about men, especially young men, is when their ego is high, but they still try. Sometimes it works out where they actually do get lucky and become successful at what they're doing. Yeah, even though they have no clue what they're doing, sometimes they get lucky. Anyways, these guys are starting a clothing line, and they need a model. So, like, starting within my own zone of influence, I could give myself this experience on some level. And I think I should pull the trigger on that and do that. I like my ears. I like when I'm happy. I wish I was happy all the time so I could really give everyone a real good experience. Well, maybe I don't need to be happy all the time, but I really want to give everyone a really, really good experience. Yeah, I really want to give other people good experiences. That's outside of me trying to find a boyfriend. But yeah, the golfing and manifesting by becoming the friend, becoming the boyfriend. Well, I guess the logic there, you can apply inward, but I was applying outward to try and get something, not inward to shift something. But like, if I apply it inward, then I have to give myself the love that I want from a boy. But I can't because I'm not that flexible. That was a good one. I think that was a good one. That's my sense of humor. It's a bit provocative. I don't know. It tickles me. It tickles me in the right way. I'll tell you that much. Those jokes tickle me in the right way. I don't imagine they tickle everyone in the right way. But for me, they do. Stupid. You gotta give yourself the love that you crave. I'm not flexible enough. All I have to do is do yoga. More yoga. Oh shit. Oh man. The other thing that I really care about is, why don't the spirits just kind of swoop in and manifest themselves here? Like, I feel a little bit, are they ignoring us? Like, you know, there are spirits. This is where I might lose some of you guys, but I'll tell you this far into the video, this is where I might lose some of you guys. If it wasn't me being super scattered for the first 30 minutes. Oh my god! Why the hell told you you look kind of upset. What's up with you? Okay, so there you go, be a friend. So instead of being like, why the hell are you upset? Which might make you feel that I'm angry, but I'm not angry, I just want to know why you're upset. So maybe I don't want you to get the impression that I'm angry at you. I want you to get the impression that I care about you, because I do. What is wrong? You had a long face. Well, that did kind of improve your mood, so you're welcome. I don't know. I don't know what. Is it because I called you the cock-blocking demon? Shit. Oh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, spirits are real. Why don't they manifest themselves here? Like, they don't enjoy my company enough? What are they doing? Yes, I'm having FOMO. Because why aren't you inviting me to the parties? Well, I don't know if there are parties out there or not, but I assume there are, and I'm not getting invited. What do I need to do to get invited to these parties? No answer. There might not be any parties at the moment, but my God, like, they could, like, these ghosts could just, like, flat out, like, your guardian angel's probably standing right beside you. Why do they insist on staying so tight-lipped and invisible? I don't want them to be invisible. I want to see them. Stop being invisible, shy guys. That's what I call them. I call them shy guys when I'm angry at them for not being visible. Because sometimes they can make themselves visible. They can anytime they want, and they almost never do. But sometimes they do. And when they do, I like to take a good look. Because it's all very new to me. And I like a lot of newness. But I don't like change. Strange. New. How can I love new experiences but not like change? I don't understand that one. As long as the newness doesn't last too long, then it's not really change. And I like exploring. Man, I really do. I don't know how to get, like, I feel like there's a science to the body glitter. Because I just wanted it to be like, kind of like wrap around so that you only kind of see it. But it spread out in a weird way that kind of didn't give the impression. Like, it's not highlighting because it spread out too far this way. It's not highlighting this, so it lost the original intent. Also, I went too close on the eyebrow here, so it pulls my eyes kind of down. I wanted it to give that impression of up, to really make my cheekbones pop and make me look like I have cheek filler, but I don't, and I don't want to get it. I don't know. If I got super famous, I think I might consider trying plastic surgery, because I'm very influenced by the people around me, and if everyone's doing it, like everyone, when I went to this mining camp, everyone was feeding the foxes. So I fed the foxes too, even though they said don't feed the foxes at the very start. They were very clear about that. But everyone was doing it, so I did it too. Only later to realize that actually it is very dangerous to do, because if you leave the food out for the foxes, the grizzly bears are going to come, and you don't want to attract those grizzlies back to where you are. So don't leave food out for the foxes. Don't feed the foxes. Also, it makes the foxes more aggressive. So yeah, they're not dogs, unfortunately, because they're very beautiful. And they're very cute. And they have funny personalities. Yeah, they'd make great pets if they weren't wild. They're really beautiful, though. And one time when I was out at this mining camp, I had some downtime, and I was out in the bush in the middle of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. And there was like this hard rock shale. It was northern Ontario. And there was this hard rock shale, and I was like, that would be a good place to do some drawing. So I got out my sketchbook and my pencils, and I had it in a little pencil case. And I knelt over, and I was really focused on my drawing, and then in my periphery, about 10, 15 minutes into me drawing and being super focused, I noticed that this fox had come right up to me. And it was like, I think it wanted my pencils because it hadn't like heard that noise before. But it came right up to me because I was so focused on what I was doing. It was right beside me on its own. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. It's like, I've never had something like that happen to me before. It was so cool. I loved it. It was like, because I was so focused on the earth, it felt safe enough to get that close to me. Like, it really knew that, I don't know what was going on in that mind, but it was kind of like I drew the fox to me. I loved it. I was like, oh, I didn't do it purposely, so it's not real magic because it's not like I could do that again. But like, oh my God, it was amazing. I loved it. What a gift from God. So, yeah. That's how I feel about that. But yeah, the loneliness does creep in. I'd say that much. It does. And I get very sad. But then I think about clothes. And I think about how much I love clothes. And oh, you did not see my nails yet. Oh, it can kind of focus on them. Oh, there it go. There it go. Ooh. And the prize jewel of them all. Oh, yes. Can you see? Can you see this beauty? I don't know. Like, the lighting is so bad that I can't really show it justice. Damn. Why? Why do you need extra light to work properly, camera? Why am I so grainy? Yeah, so that's how I feel about that. And I just like, I think it is important that we all start taking care of each other. I really do. It is important because, I don't know, like it's like really within our wheelhouse to do it and to be successful. So we don't, like it's really within our wheelhouse to change our mind and share our resources. Not everyone has to own their own car. Like we can shift from capitalism to sustainabilism. Kind of sounds like cannibalism. Capitalism? Cannibalism. Capitalism. Cannibalism. Sustainabilism. I choose you because I don't want things to get dire. Don't want things to get dire. When things get dire, that means I really have to go into full gear mode, and I just want to vibe, like this. I want to see the sights. I would like to go to Alaska. I would like to go to Georgian Bay. I would like to see the Grand Canyon, but unfortunately at the moment, that is not super feasible. I would like to see Venice. Man, I always thought it would be such a great idea to have water instead of roads. I would like to see Venice. That one probably should be more of a priority because that one's kind of expiring. The opportunity is kind of expiring there. Yeah. The other form of capital is your attention. Don't watch the news. Watch me instead. Especially if you live near me. Because you've got... Well, actually, I don't think on the internet, I think that metaphor kind of breaks down. But, yeah. So, you have power. You have a lot of it. We all do. Change your mind. And be careful with how you spend your capital, because your capital is so precious. It's so, so, so precious. Yeah. In fact, because you have less of it, it's even more precious. than other people's capital. So be careful who you support. That's my advice. Gotta keep those dollar bills close to me. I think I like the glitter if it didn't have these giant ones that randomly appear. Like, I like two giant ones. Also, you could really mess the glitter up. Thank goodness. Glitter is not something you can wing. You're gonna have to try a couple times before you really get it. So that's good to know, because I do think I wore this glitter out, but I was much more conservative because, yeah, it's just so, it has great potential, but very tricky to apply. Yeah. And let's see. I need a necklace. I'm missing my necklace right now. That's one thing this outfit is kind of missing. My necklace is missing. This outfit deserves better. I'm sorry, outfit. Please forgive me. You do deserve to be styled properly, even within my own home. You do. Because that is how beautiful you are. Yes, I do talk to my clothes. I love them so much. I really love my clothes. Like, the depression gets to me. I think about, my first defense is thinking about clothes and nails. Oh, the textiles against my skin, the way it shapes me, the way it makes me look, how it changes my behavior. I love clothes! That is why God made us naked, just so we could have the joy of clothes. If we're all Sasquatches, that would be fun. I think we could have some really interesting haircuts and go through several trends. That would be very fun. But the clothes are so much fun too. I think more fun than the haircuts. I don't know, it's just so much fun. Ooh, I love clothes. 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 Thank you, God, for clothes. Thank you, universe, for conceiving of the idea of clothes. Nicole approved. Nicole approved. Yes. Congratulations, whoever thought of that one. So good. What a good idea that was. Although, unfortunately, it does make us vulnerable to TI logic when we go into the Mount Everest and then freeze to death. If we had more of a fur coat, we could maybe survive it better. So we're bound by TI logic. And God, for whatever reason, does not retaliate on the logic. That don't make any sense, Nicole. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? What God does not, what I'm trying to say is God really is stubborn. Like, I tried. I told him, make things easier for us. And come and fix things. And God just kind of was like, no, in order to have true free will, I can't do that. That's the whole point of the whole thing. Like, that was the whole point of it. And I'm just like, darn. Yeah, if that was the whole point of it, then rough, because I did not know it was going to be this hard. Free will. I got you. I do really like watching how other people express themselves. I love that. That's why I love children. And I really kind of hope to, I don't know though, because I don't know if I'm up to, sorry, JD Vance, but I don't know if I'm up to the responsibility of taking care of a child all the time. Even if I had a husband and got to be a stay-at-home mom, I still think it would be hard. Damn, given the best possible situation, it would still be hard. Oh, shit. Yeah. I think, ancestors, I think it ends with me. It ends with me. Because I don't think I'm going to reproduce. It ends with me. I am the leaf of this branch. The very farthest reaching leaf. That's me. Because I'm not going to make more leaves. I'm not going to grow more branch from me, apparently. So, that's me. I'm the leaf. Actually, surprisingly, yes, I can accept this. I mean, it would be nice to... It would be... But just children are such a big responsibility. Yeah, it's just too big a responsibility. They're so important. And I worry about them. Like, I have... My one second cousin was born on the same day as me, but a different year. He's much younger than me. And for his birthday, I took him to a trampoline park, and he has this weird thing, like this weird condition that he has where he has lots of seizures, like every day. It happens quite often, and his eyes just kind of roll back, and he stops for a second, and then he like is back online, and he's okay. So because of like this condition, like I was like, like extra watching him, and it really worried me. And then this girl pushed him, and it caused a seizure to happen because he got upset that he got pushed. She didn't do it on purpose. She wasn't being mean, but just like it was chaotic. It's a chaotic place to be on a Saturday. That is definitely true. And he had the seizure, and I just like remember like my heart just feeling so scared, like that, like I want to take all his pain away right away. And it was kind of too, like, it's a bit too intense of a feeling. Like, yeah. It hurt my heart. I don't like when they get hurt. So. I really don't like that. Because ultimately, I want them to have every opportunity to express themselves authentically. And when things get in the way of that are outside of the innocent one's control, it's upsetting. Like, children are so important. They're so innocent. I love them because they're so innocent. They're so cute. They really are. Okay. Should I upload this one anyways? You probably shouldn't do drugs and then upload it. But it's just pot. It's not even... I'm not even high because this one is almost done. How much smoke came out of that? Not very much. I wonder how you do make a circle with the smoke. Like a fish. Blub, 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 blub. Oh, one of you commented something king. I don't know if you're gonna see this, especially at this late hour of the video, late minute of the video. But my birthday is February 10th, and so it just passed, and one of you, and I thought about making a video that day, but I didn't. But one of you commented on that day asking for me to make more videos, and that was very nice. Like, that was such a great present on my birthday, so I really appreciate that. Yeah. This video is in honor of you. Well, I'm sorry. I don't remember your handle. Do we call it handle? I don't know. I'm better with real names. Even real, as long as they're real. Yeah. What else? I don't know. I just don't feel like hanging up the phone right now with the video. Like, I could end this video, but I still want to chill and talk to myself. So, even though I don't really have much to say right now, like, I don't, but I still feel like chilling. Today's my sister's birthday. Valentine's Day. I always liked that we had our birthdays so close together. If only I could just make it go more up. Like, what? It's gonna give that illusion. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so switching gears here. God, why am I single? Like, is that even the right question? I feel... Just give me what I want. I'm such a baby. Oh, maybe I am spoiled. Ugh. Let's see. Oh, for Christian. What do you want? I'm probably not coming out. Huh. Wait. Hi.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished...
Answer. Call. Oh, I could videotape myself talking to Christian, but that's kind of unethical, and now I really need to end the video if he calls me. Right? Well, I could always just ask him if he's okay with being unrecorded. That's true. But then I'd have to tell him about my YouTube channel. Come on, ring. Good. Good work. Technology.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Christian?
No, it's wrong number.
Oh. Sorry, do you mind telling me what number I have?
647
Yeah?
616
616?
7922.
7922. That's so weird, because that's not the number that I called someone that's in my contact in my phone. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. It didn't work. It went... What is Christian's number? Can you hear me? Am I too loud?
No, you're just right. Am I too loud?
No, you're just right too.
Oh man, look at that, how right we are.
Yep. How are you?
I want to exhale with a sigh of
Oh, good. Because you're finally home.
yeah. Man. I can't believe I misplaced my phone. As soon as I got off, like I was almost I got off the train, got into work. I wasn't even in work. I was like, oh no, I forgot the phone. I knew I forgot it, like, on the seat, under my mitts. I ran back, the train was gone. I was able to track my phone and watch it go back and forth on the the lakeshore line. And then by the time I left Toronto, the train that it was on, maybe the person was done their shift or whatever, or finally got around to returning it. Dropped it off. Where are you?
Oh, I'm at home.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I don't know. How are the roads? I haven't been outside since my lunch hour. I worked from home today. And I took Toby for a long walk. And then I had to work late because I can't always predict it. Just like with the projects right now. Well, actually, it's always how it is. But anyways, I got a whole bunch of requests to do stuff. And I had to do it, and a lot of the stuff I should have already had done. Well, not should have, but like, it's not that I should have already had it done. It's just that I left it sitting on my desk, not knowing that they were gonna come calling for it. Like, it's better in general if I can deliver it before they come asking.
Right. That's wise.
But like, once they ask, like, that's on, like, I have to deliver it, otherwise it will hurt my reputation, and I really want, anyways, so with work goals and stuff, I'm like, no, I have to, so I ended up working till 7? Like, well, no, when I texted you, that's when I was done, pretty much. So, today was a bit of a long one.
Man.
But I liked it, it felt good.
Well, that's good. Yeah, today was kind of like a long one, but it was good enough because I was left all alone in the office.
Oh, really? Then why'd you have to be there?
I stayed till 5:30, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was 5:30. I can kind of leave when I'm like not needed per se, but if I'm there, there's this expectation someone's going to be there until like 8 o'clock every day.
What? Yeah. 8 o'clock?
Yeah, and that's not always me, man. I don't like being there until 8 o'clock.
People stay at the office until 8 p.m. regularly? That's insanity.
Yeah, well, there's somebody who comes in later, like at noon, for example. And that noon person would be there until 8.
Well, that's a full 8 hours, so actually they should stay that late.
Well, why? Maybe if you do 10 hours of work in 6 hours, why do you have to stay the whole time?
So you're saying that I was able to achieve more productivity in 6 hours, so therefore I can leave 2 hours earlier because I got that much work done, but in a shorter amount of time? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, except that it's really hard from a business perspective to be able to say that you did. Although, on the other hand, it's all that's why it's all reputation based. Although I don't know about, like, you know, if you don't want to work for these people again, then it doesn't matter what they think about you.
It's all about my reputation.
Well, I'm just trying to make a point that there is really a fine balance between what you can give and what's fair, what's ethical, and what's reasonable. And I definitely think the business side, like, my boss is never going to tell me not to put in more work. So
Right.
it's up to me to kind of draw those boundaries in a weird way.
Look, if I do 6 hours today,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, of like in office time, and I'm available for more hours on my phone or at home, I think that's like giving the balance, in favor. In fact, I'll be available for longer hours when the time is required, and I do. But I will do that. So if it's like, hey, all hands on deck. We need people to stay until 9, 10 o'clock tonight. That does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I will make the sacrifice because, I think more so in the work that I'm doing, I think that the members who pay my salary ultimately need and deserve fair and balanced representation based on their expectations. And I think about what would I like when I was just working before I got involved in the union, what would I want from my union is who I want to be.
Oh, interesting. That's very interesting because who you're working for and who pays your salary is so, mine just kind of trickles up to the CEO, who I do not care about at all. So if I don't do a good job and I'm less efficient, I don't see it as a problem at all. Because I'm stealing from the rich. If you can even call that stealing, which is not quite. But,
No. Oh, there is a thing called time theft.
Yeah. So that's like blatantly lying on your time card, I guess, right?
Yeah. Here's a couple of examples where people do that.
Okay.
So, we had somebody at the hotel. They were delivering boxes to rooms, and they had fallen asleep in a room.
What?
Yeah, on more than one occasion. In fact, they've admitted that they probably have done it at least 15 times in the last month.
In the last month? This is every other day. You don't even work that many days. That's almost every shift.
Right? And then yeah, it is. But they work overnight, so they're working from 11 p.m. till 7 a.m.
Oh, they probably have responsibilities during the day as well, I bet.
Probably, but still, when you say, hey, listen, I'm giving you my time in exchange for this money, and I'm going to be available and do this job for you, and then you're not because you've fallen asleep, the company then goes, you know what, you've been stealing time from us. This is time theft.
Yeah, so, okay, but they're never going to be able to pay that back, so...
No.
So,
No.
What is the solution?
Well, the person did get terminated, and now the fight is for this person who did want to move to another department, who was trying to find other opportunities that were more daytime focused, and feels they have a medical condition, and they need to get a doctor's note to, support that. Then they, it might be possible they can come back to work. No guarantee, but...
So, okay, if we had a time machine, ideally, I think what would be a good thing to see in the future is that the company itself, instead of firing, just goes and offers a daytime position right away.
Right.
That would be ideal. As a future, business sort of ethics, because I just think firing people is, I think but more than me, but I just think, it's really bad because, it's their livelihood. I don't know, I'm really worried about, are they going to be able to find something, and how long will that take, and so, does that make sense?
Yeah, but you know what? Companies don't care. They don't. They're just... there's actually human beings that run them.
Yeah.
But once they get comfortable doing a few firings, yeah, they go, you know what, forget it. Let's get rid of these guys. Let's get rid of them.
Interesting.
Sad but true.
Yeah, I don't really think of a company as I think of a company more like I think about a system, and the system, like a bank. It's like a bank. Like, there's no reasoning with a bank. It's just like a system. So,
Yeah, you're right. And they do everything. And companies tend to protect themselves, right? Like, when you're on the management team, you're protecting yourself. And you protect your other managers.
well, like, what do you mean by that? How do you protect yourself and your other managers?
Well, you'd fire the workers, and you would have a talk with the managers. Hey, you're not doing your job very well. You know?
So it's kind of like Mohawk College. They were interviewing the the leader. What is he, a CEO? I don't know if they call him that, but like he's the president? No, the principal? I don't know what they call him. The vice president?
Of what?
Mohawk College.
Oh, aren't they? Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And so, like, you know this guy is making a ton of money. Well, they just laid off 20% of their staff. And he's talking about the future of Mohawk, and I just wondered, I was like, you could have taken a pay cut to save some of these people's jobs.
No, you gotta protect yourself, man. Who would want to take a pay cut, especially this?
Well, then the problem extends to past Mohawk and educational institutions and hospitals, and then politicians, and oh my God, no wonder our money is trickling up. It's a pyramid. It's not just that it all ends up in Elon Musk's account. It ends up in many other people's account along the way.
Yes. Oh, Elon. He's not even the problem. he's the what do you call it? The scapegoat of the problem.
Is he?
Other than a horrific Nazi salute.
Why did he do that?
That is a very good question. I don't know if we'll ever get the answer.
Is he actually thinking that white people are better than everyone else?
I would like to say that's not true. Like, he doesn't believe that. I think that maybe he's just an agitator to get, he's just one of those people who likes to agitate.
So he's more strategic about how he does media, I guess, even if it makes him look bad in some people's eyes. I mean, how does that make you look good in anyone other than neo-Nazis' eyes? So it kind of brings one thing it can do is people make TikToks, people got in trouble after that. A couple people, or I heard anyways, on the news, because they copied him, and so that really revealed who was willing to do what and say what.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of signals to people with power, what they can get away with and what they might not be able to get away with. Maybe that's why he did it.
Yeah, so we're like, hey guys, we can do this now. Remember, we couldn't do this? Now we can do it. Look, I can do it.
Yeah, except it doesn't make sense in my mind at that point, because how does being able to do a Nazi salute translate to what? Taking Gaza, which I kind of knew was coming up, because I don't know if I told you this or not. Did we have a conversation about Elon's child talking about Gaza?
No.
Before. So, he brings little X around with him, and that's Claire, that's Grimes' son. And, anyways, so he's been caught, he brings him everywhere in front of the camera. Well, inevitably, the child says stuff, right, and does stuff. And one thing, he was giving an interview to Tucker Carlson, and little X said to Tucker, he was, kind of in a bored state, and he was saying to Tucker Carlson, he said the word Gaza. He was mumbling random words and then you have to watch the clip to really get a sense of it. But basically, he was regurgitating sentences that obviously he had overheard from, I assume, his father. And it was words like, we're quietly going to do what we want and take over Gaza. And now look what happened. What the heck? The irony is peaking in my mind. And then And then at the Oval Office, little X said to Donald Trump, he says to Donald Trump, "You're not the president, and I want you to shush your mouth." And which means that somebody said that to Elon Musk. Like, "You're not the president?" That doesn't, why would the kid say that? And "I want you to shush your mouth." It's just like, somebody said to Elon Musk, "You're not the president, shut up," right? In front of the kid. And the kid regurgitated it on TV to Donald Trump. And I was like, what is going on? So, like, the kid is, like, kind of revealing these, like, little clues.
Papa Trump?
Wait, what?
So little X says to Papa Trump,
Yes.
Donald Trump, "You're not the president?"
Yes, he says, "You're not the president. I want you to shush your mouth." So,
Maybe, listen. Maybe that's something that, maybe Donald Trump has said to him, or...
no, I think the most likely case is Donald Trump or somebody said that in a mean way to Elon, and X overheard it, and instead of saying "shut the fuck up," because I think a 4-year-old kind of knows that I shouldn't say a swear word, so he said "shush your mouth."
No.
That's what I think is the most likely, because, or maybe it's that Elon Musk has, somebody must have said something, because there's something, like, and maybe it's not quite literally, like, word for word that somebody said that, but, there's videos of Elon saying, we need to make Donald Trump win presidency, and getting his son to repeat it with him.
Yeah. Okay. And then maybe the kid is, like, saying, "I'm the president." And Dad says, "You're not the president." And so the kid just says that. Or maybe
That's a possibility, but the tone that the child said it in also is pretty damning. I mean, you could chalk that up to the child's personality, but it's so funny too, because Donald hears him say it and looks to the child and is listening to the child for a few seconds, and then goes back to paying attention to the media and doesn't respond to the child. But I'm like, flat out, Donald Trump heard the kid, understood the kid, and just, like he didn't really pay him any attention. Like, it's just a 4-year-old. Like, I think in Donald Trump's mind, he's not really, like, offended because it's just a 4-year-old. But in my mind, I'm just like, that's so funny. Because there's no way little X could know that Donald Trump is such a controversial character. Is there? Like, maybe, I don't remember how much I understood of the adult world. But, and also, I wasn't being paraded around presidents when I was 4. So, I don't know what the child understands and what he doesn't understand, but I don't think he knows. So it's very funny and damning that this is happening.
Yes, that's comical. I'm kind of curious as
On top of that, her name's Claire, the mother, and Claire, that name means clarity, like bringing about some clarity, some truth.
Wait a minute. Who's Claire?
That's the mother, Grimes.
I didn't know she had a name. I thought it was just Grimes.
No, she has a real name. Her name's Claire.
I was born Grimes.
No, she chose that name. That's her persona, like her brand.
Man, lucky her.
I don't think she's lucky. I think she's in an abusive relationship with an ex that also happens to be the richest man. That is a very interesting position to be. But unfortunately not a very lucky one. I would not call it luck. I'd call it, I don't know, some kind of spiritual awakening for both of them, probably.
Look, it's got to be a reciprocal relationship in some capacity. They're not together anymore, are they?
No, because he made a secret family against her.
He made a secret family against her?
Yeah, their second child was born through surrogacy, which is important because it wasn't an accident. And anyways, 2 months into that pregnant, he said that he didn't have sex with Siobhan, and that those twins were born via however they do it, petri dish style. But anyways, either way, he offered and had sex and purposely made babies with somebody else while, unbeknownst to his long-term committed woman, who was via surrogacy pregnant with their second child. So he made a secret family against Grimes, and this is why they're no longer together. Although it gets pretty complicated because they made a third child after Grimes already knew that Elon made a secret family against her, so it's hard to say, because Grimes is very tight-lipped. It's hard to say, but it kind of could be low-key a very abusive relationship. That's kind of like worst case scenario, I guess.
Unless, of course, play with me here. She knew all about it, and she's just like acting surprised to make it sound like, oh yeah, that's perfectly normal.
Well, then she's really destroying his reputation because it makes him look evil. If it was agreed upon beforehand, then that's not unethical. It's not my style, but it's not unethical. I think polygamy is okay if everyone consents, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it. The only way to have, I think the only just way to have a relationship outside of your primary relationship is, people have to be informed. Otherwise, it's just scandalous and you're cheating.
Well, on the other hand, ignorance is bliss.
That's true, unless, of course, you're...
Well, I just think, I don't know, if I was being cheated on by my husband, would I want to know? I guess I would want to know, but I would not want to know any of the details, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because I would get jealous, and I think my mental health would take a hit. So, right. Yeah. It's complicated.
Unless, of course, you're French, or, Spanish, or Italian. I think it's a little bit more surprising. Because those cultures have both for men and women to have an outside of the marriage affair is quite common, from my understanding.
Is that Polish people as well, or no?
I don't know. I don't think the Polish people really have a reputation about them.
No reputation? The Polish have no reputation?
Not like a Don Juan swinger to Marco kind of reputation.
Yeah. Well, my uncle was Polish, and he cheated on my great aunt. They were my great uncle and great aunt, and he cheated on my aunt, and she accepted it, and then she started cheating on him with somebody else, and they both had boyfriends/girlfriends on the side, except that she kind of beat the game because her boyfriend was very wealthy.
That's the way to do it. You have to have money to really pull this off.
That's true, because that wealthy person was... Yeah, maybe cheating is also a wealthy person's game.
Yeah.
Also, that couple, my aunt and uncle, didn't have children of their own. So, I don't think... That kind of also changes things to some degree, I think. So basically, they were in an open relationship. But it didn't start out that way. It started out cheating.
Yeah, I've been in an open relationship. I didn't know I was in one. But and I found out going, we're in an open... Oh, I see. That's... we're in an open relationship. Okay. And that was awkward.
Aw, that's really shitty and rough. And sounds like you found out in not such a nice way either.
No, but you know what? I came to accept it. I ended up dating this person for like 6 months.
Afterwards?
Yeah. Like, we were dating for about 3 months, and then it was like, I found out, I was like, man, we get along so well. I give this up.
Well, then that really means, what is your dating goals then? Because it depends on if your dating goals are aligned with dating behavior, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's, Which is a hard question to ponder, I think. But...
Yeah. you know, it is complex. It is complex. I mean, you know, in some cases you can't be everything to, you know, one person can't be everything to you, and
That's true.
it depends, you know, and some people are satisfied with having like other social relationships, you know, or extracurricular activities, and some people seek that out in a more intimate fashion. I've had friends who've been married and are still married that have open relationships. It never started that way. A good friend of mine in Calgary, he and his wife, and they have, you know, I think 3 kids, 2 kids, 3 kids, 2 kids, shit, 2 kids.
Does that soul exist or not? Yeah.
They're older. I think there's 2 kids. And at some point, the wife made the comment that she would like to have a 3-way with another woman.
So did they do it?
And they'd been married, I think, 12 years at that point.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, the kids were somewhat young. Yeah. So he knew somebody, a friend we both went to school with, that is a lesbian, and she knew women, and so he asked her, hey, listen, do you know any women who might be interested in this? We're going to try this.
He asked a colleague that?
A friend from school, yeah.
Okay, well, if they're friends, okay.
Like, I don't know, where would I find someone who's maybe a lesbian? I don't know. I mean, I could put it online, or I might just ask like a gay or lesbian friend of mine going, hey, listen, maybe? And she said, yes, I do. I do know someone who fits that bill. And they connected, and this woman said, listen, I want to meet you guys first. And when they met, she was like, listen, I really like your wife. I don't necessarily like you. But I will try this. I will do this. I'll do this.
Well, the lesbian's a lesbian. So is she bisexual or is she a lesbian?
She was a little bit open, but she said, I will do this, but my focus would like to be, you know, the attention on your wife. And the wife agreed, and he was like, sure. And so it was really, you know, a sexual tryst for his wife, and that was her fantasy, and he supported her making that come true, and, you know, he was actually quite happy that she had this, his wife had this experience. In the end, like, he was kind of weirded out and uncomfortable by this. And now they have an open relationship, though she ended up dating that woman for about 4 years.
Why did it end?
Because the lady they live in Calgary, and this woman was in Edmonton, and I think she was in Calgary for a little bit, but she ended up going back to Edmonton. So it was just really, she had things happening in her life, and it was pulling her away from the relationship, and Zoe, the lady, was like, yeah, their lives were kind of like pulling apart, and then...
Oh, sad.
She was like,
sort of.
And then I think this is what happened. I want you to move with me to Edmonton. And Zoe was like, no, I really want to be with my husband and kids. I love you, but I also love them, and that's my deal. And so that's how that happened.
I don't know. I don't mean to pass judgment, especially because I'm not, like, judging these people.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't think... It doesn't feel fair. Like, it doesn't feel fair to the man. Just from the limited, like, again, it's more from, like, I'm not trying to judge, like, but, like, one explanation or one way of looking at this is that it seems unfair in this case to the man in the relationship. Like, you get married, you say your vows, and then, like, I could see, like, I could see somebody being like when his wife is like, oh, I'd have a threesome with that hot chick, and then I could see it, like, the husband be like, wow, that's so exciting, because, I don't know, maybe it does play into a man's fantasy, and so he's thinking, I'm gonna have 2 women, it's gonna be great, my wife's down for it, and then it just evolves into her dating some other woman, having some other intimate relationship. But on the other hand, she can't, it's not like either of them can get pregnant, but...
Right, and Yet the woman is offering her something that her man cannot offer.
Which is what? Exactly.
The love of a woman.
She doesn't need it. It's not like she has some kind of special need. Like
She does. She needs accommodations, and her accommodations are being met.
it's kind of, I don't know. I just think that it would hurt the marriage overall.
I think, I would think so. I would agree with you. They talk a lot. They have a lot of communication. They're very strong. Like, again, she didn't want to leave her husband, my friend, for this woman to move or anything like that. That wasn't her goal. She did feel very satisfied. There's things that Steve doesn't like to do that she likes to do, and she just found women to do that with, and she enjoys having an intimate partner. And it works. I don't think it works for everyone. No, I think it probably ruins more people than it does brings them together.
But it does seem to be very, very common. I don't think it's hard to find people. One of my midwifery friends told me that her and her husband and her were in a open relationship, and she had a crush on one of their couple friends. Anyways, but it always caused, it did kind of seem to always eventually cause weird things to happen, because number one, when you and in this case, he went out looking for somebody, so it wasn't as though she wanted to have sex with a very specific person.
Oh.
So that really changes things, because it, and it just seems lucky that those two ladies hit it off. They must have actually enjoyed each other's company, or maybe they just really were sexually compatible. But
yeah, I think both are true. Yeah.
Yeah, so then that was kind of lucky, being serendipitous in a way, because usually when you meet random people, they're not necessarily going to be compatible with you.
No.
And ultimately she wasn't, because she lived too far away, and whatever else was going on, so.
Yeah. So that possibility, there's always that possibility.
But that's interesting. That's fascinating. I don't know. I find it fascinating, especially when it comes to sex, that, I don't know, everyone has such different experiences. I think it's super fascinating.
I'll tell you a ridiculous story. This past year, so there was somebody I went on some dates with, and it came up playfully in conversation. She was like, "Oh yeah, could you ever be with a guy?" I said, "Well, I did try." A friend in college was like, he was gay and tried, making something happen. It never worked out. And she goes, "Oh, well, what kind of guy would you go for?" This is the line of questioning. And I go, "Well, I guess I'd want somebody if I was, I say, to be clear, I'm not. But if I was," and I describe, somebody who's, I couldn't be with somebody overtly masculine. I feel that would take away my masculinity,
Yeah.
I want somebody a little bit softer, I guess, but not too gay, in an ephemeral kind of feminine way.
So if it's the maximum feminine gay, why doesn't that work?
So I'm describing this. Cut to the next day. She says to me, "Well, why are you telling me this now? I'm very disappointed." I'm like, and I was confused. I'm like, what about what? Well, sorry, what did we talk about? About you being gay. I'm like, I'm not gay. It's she says, "No, but you are. You told me last night." I was like, no, I'm not. And I was like, and for some reason, she has it in her head that we had this conversation where I come out to her, and I was just playing along. I was just having a conversation.
Was she, was there any alcohol or drugs involved in the conversation before? The original conversation?
No drugs. Though I think she probably, I did have a drink, but I think she had a couple more drinks than I did.
Okay, so maybe that could explain some of the confusion, but
I explained it not on one occasion,
but twice.
occasions.
But she didn't believe you.
Yeah, and then she says,
"That's pretty bold."
Together, I do not want to be in an open relationship with a man who wants another man. And I was like,
What?
Great. I think think this is a good way for me to get out of this, and I'm happy with that. But secondly,
This is a deal breaker, basically.
yeah, and she's still convinced, like as of like a month and a half ago, at least at that time, that this is the case. I'm like, okay, no.
Well, I had a boyfriend that I dated that I truly believe is gay. Oh my god. So that's kind of odd. And he told me he wasn't gay, and I still don't believe him. So that's kind of weird. But so it's weird to hear from the complete other dimension. But there were a lot of signs with him. Did you talk about being gay a lot with her?
No, I made a joke on stage as a comedian, and then that's when I think she got this idea. It was just a joke.
Really? Because
Well, you've always, and she said to me, well, you always tell me there's truth in comedy, and I go, well, yeah. Listen, I think everybody could be gay. We're all a little bit gay. Look at people in prison. You know, eventually you're not gay, but you are like maybe. And I do this joke about if I was on a desert island with one other guy, and we're the only two people on that desert island, maybe I would, just help a friend out. At some point.
Well, I have many more questions, but many of them are not appropriate.
But I read this book called Midnight Express. When I was backpacking, everybody said, you gotta read this book, Midnight Express. It's about this American guy who tried smuggling hash out of Turkey. And Turkey has extreme drug laws, and he ended up in prison. Because he did have a lot of hash.
So was he gay for the stay?
He was not gay. He had a girlfriend, everything was going well, but he got really ambitious, thinking that maybe if he smuggled a lot of hash out of Turkey, he would do well financially.
Uh-huh.
So he ends up in prison for
Yeah.
a long period of time, for well over a year. Then at some point, the human desire and longing of touch does come about. Yes. And so there is a lot of homosexuality, both not just male homosexuality, female homosexuality, that happens in prisons, and not because people are necessarily gay to begin with, but they have unmet needs. And there's a lot of hormones when you just have, one gender, sexual energy, just like, all the time. That does happen, yeah.
So they were gay for the stay. Oh.
They were gay for the stays. Oh, yes, they were gay for the stay.
Well, that's okay, I think.
That's okay. And, when he got out of prison, he later escapes. He finds his way, to Greece. He comes back to America. He has a tell-all book. It's an easy book to read. It was a quick read.
This woman told me... Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, anyways. And so that kind of, that informed me of the joke I was making about, we're all a little bit gay.
But I also do believe that. I do think we're all a little bit gay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's on a spectrum. And... what was I going to say? I don't know, one time I was on a bus. And I saw this woman. I think I was a student going to Mac at the time. And she was probably a student too, headed to Mac. And she had dark hair, long dark hair, and very pale skin, and pretty big eyes. And she was dressed very conservative. Seemed like the type that was more serious, but once you got to know them, was actually quite playful underneath. And I remember looking at her and being very attracted to her, and that never happens. Like, never. I was very attracted to her. But it was even more than just how it wasn't really how she looked, although she was beautiful. But there's lots of beautiful women, like, I don't know. It wasn't so much her looks, but there was something about her, and I really wanted to talk to her, but I didn't because I was too shy. And I was also too insecure. It is really scary to hit on a woman. Not that you really have to hit on anyone, though. I could have just said hi, but there was really no reason for me to talk to her. We were on a bus getting to school. Like, it was not the right time. But, I don't know, that person does stick out in my mind out of all the strangers I've ever seen. And I do think about her when I think about this issue of like bisexuality. But then on the other hand, I don't think I'm a lesbian at all. Like, I don't think I'm down for a threesome at all, because I don't think I'm, to be honest, I just don't think I'm gonna do it for some other woman. So,
Wait, you don't think you're gonna satisfy some other woman, or some other woman's not gonna for you?
no.
Like, let's say that lady on the bus says, "Hey, listen."
Oh, well, with her, maybe. But that's the only one, because every other woman, I would say, it's not, like, I don't want to go down on another woman, to be very blunt about it. Because
Right.
there's nothing there for me, and it seems like a big favor to ask, and I have to do it begrudgingly, because, like, do you really want anyone to do it begrudgingly? And so, basically, incompatible.
Oh, that's a good comedy bit right there. Just, okay, fine. I don't want to do this. Well, maybe some people are givers and some people are receivers, you know, and you just need to find now I'm trying to set you up for something I don't know in my head. It's like, okay, you just need to find out.
No, because then I feel really guilty about, like, and then I get in my head and I'm like, oh, what if they, like, you know, I need to make it fair, and it's like I have to pay them back or something. Ugh.
Don't make it fair.
Yeah.
Get so caught up in it. Yes. This is a funny idea. I'm just like chuckling a little bit. The idea of begrudgingly a woman going down on another woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That is, but it is true. Ugh. And it's, there was this girl, did I tell you? I don't think, I told somebody this. I started out in nursing, and I'm convinced, and I'm sorry, this is kind of offensive, but I'm convinced that all nurses are crazy. I don't know what it is. And actually, they start out crazy, because, like, and I think the job makes it even worse, but there's something a little crazy about them from the very beginning. Every nurse I ever knew. Every one of them.
All of them.
Anyway, like, yeah. All the personal ones I knew. Oh, God, some of them are so crazy. Like, and I'm pretty crazy, so if I'm calling them crazy, it's pretty serious.
What years were you doing nursing at Mac?
2012. In 2012, 2013, and then midwifery would have been 2018, 19, 20.
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah. I did date somebody who was a nurse from Mac. And,
Did she have blonde hair?
no, it wasn't you.
It's just because a lot of nursing students have blonde hair.
Well, you know, she said the same thing.
Did she?
She says, oh my God, everybody looks like a Karen.
Yeah. Yeah, white, blonde hair, and Christian.
Yeah. Yes. And they're all a little crazy. And I was like, yeah. She was a little bit crazy too.
Yeah, the non-Karen ones are still crazy as well. They're all crazy. Anybody who gets into healthcare, I'm convinced is crazy. I actually am kind of convinced, because it is a very, very difficult job that does not pay enough, and you still do it, and that's kind of crazy on its own, right? Because there are easier and more fun ways that are way less risky. It's also a high risk. It's a high risk, high stress. Like, it's all the worst of all the jobs put into one job. Like, that's what that is. And we don't pay. Like, it could be good if we actually funded healthcare appropriately. But it is not an ethical workplace, and it fosters, like, no wonder there's bullying problems. Like, look at how it's run on the business level. The structure itself is problematic. So yeah, those ladies are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But thank God they're there. They're like our last defense are the crazy ladies. So there you go. Thank you, society.
Our last defense recruit the crazy ladies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The nursing. I sometimes think that I should have done nursing because then I could have had like a job I could do anywhere in the world.
Oh my God. Maybe you are a little crazy.
I must be at least 10%.
Because I still think that's a terrible idea. You could be a teacher and do the same thing.
I think it's easier to probably be a nurse than it is to be a teacher.
What makes you say that?
Just the employment opportunities, because teaching is also a bit of a cult where you have to.
Oh, I highly disagree. My sister became a teacher and she, oh my God, I don't think she's good at it. And I feel sorry for her students and she still somehow got whatever. I think that trends change. There were times when it was impossible to become a teacher, but right now it's a good time to become a teacher, especially if you're willing to go anywhere in the world. She lives in Malaysia.
Oh, okay. So, really, and in that case, it sounds like I could just be a teaching English kind of teacher, right?
Well, she teaches high school. She has she started teaching in Ontario.
Okay.
And was a full teacher. And now because I could go teach English in Japan and I have no teacher's degree, but she teaches at it's not a boarding school, but its curriculum is follows Ontario's curriculum. In order to get that job she had to have a master's in education.
Oh, okay.
So it is worthwhile to get if you want to go and become a teacher. But you have to have the 3-year, I don't remember what your education was, but you have to have at least the 3-year diploma, and then it's 2 years teacher's college, because they got rid of the 1 year. I know, because I applied to teacher's college. I think I applied, I don't know when I applied, did I apply 6 months ago? But I never completed my application because I realized that I didn't care about teaching.
Right. But getting a job as a teacher is almost impossible.
No, I don't think so. It didn't take her that long.
Well, maybe she was in the right window of opportunity.
I don't know. I think you could do it if you really wanted to. I think it's a worthwhile. But then I'm kind of against spending money on more education. I think education should be free. I don't think it should cost you money to train yourself to become a teacher.
You and me agree. Yeah.
Because then, ethically, I definitely think that it's not ethical to expect, I think, anyways, I don't know. That's taxes. That's kind of complicated.
Yeah, listen, if you have a well-educated population that's, there because they've earned it in that, they still meet the criteria of, entering into post-secondary education, and you have a well-educated population that's can go out and work and make money, and the more they make, the more taxes you're going to get. And I think that's going to be a better return on the investment than screwing them over to start and then having them struggle, and then by the time they get a chance to get ahead, now they're in their 30s, and they're, trying to save money to buy that house. The whole system is geared to hold people back longer. That's why, in part, people can't afford houses now, because you spend, at least, 10 years just paying off student loans.
Well, I think, I totally agree. I was going to say that, I think the problem starts with, I don't know enough about this, but something about, the banks, I don't understand how banks work, but, the banks are, borrowing from the future. They lend out money I don't understand how it works at all, but I think that ultimately causes this long-term problem of, we spent money from the future, so now the future kind of doesn't exist because we already spent the money. I can't afford to have children because of late-stage capitalism, ultimately.
Right. Listen, You can afford to have kids. Poor people are having kids every day.
Yeah, that's what the rich always say. But I don't think that's fair or ethical, because I really care about the experience I give the child. And to bring a child into this world and then be like, okay, parent yourself because I have to go work for 40 hours and like, and to be a single mother too. Oh my God. I, I'm not passing judgment on anyone else's choices, but personally for myself in my own life, I don't want to bring a child into this world and give them a subpar childhood. What a disaster. What a tragedy. Oh, no, thank you.
Right. First off. Why are you going to be a single mom?
Well, missing the whole other half. Like, if I want to have a child, I have to, I guess I could go to a sperm bank, or I could just, I don't know, get myself pregnant unethically.
Right. Listen, I can set you up with a mason jar full of.
There's some legal, you should be careful what you offer because there's some legal, you might be on the hook for child support.
Well, yeah, I'm making light of this first, but that's true.
True.
Yeah. If I had a child, I would want that child to be well invested in. So they had an opportunity for a good education, a good future, and those opportunities, things that I would have liked to have had myself growing up. Yeah. I'd be no slouch of a dad, for sure.
Well, it's tough. It's so tough to. I think the problem is ultimately that it's really tough to orient my life around that goal because that goal, in order to achieve it, would really like. And then also this, like, depending on what you believe, but I kind of think that it ultimately is up to God. Like, if it happens, it was meant to happen, and if it doesn't happen, maybe. But that's kind of a cop out too. But I also like, it's really difficult to be like, okay, I'm going to seriously date and start telling every man that I meet that I want to have a child and that's my end goal and I want to get married. Well,
is that your goal? I mean, it does. It's worth actually. That's something worth putting out there so that your time isn't wasted. I think you still have a window of time, but you don't want to all of a sudden be like now you're 45 going shit. I wasn't really looking for somebody who wanted to settle down.
Oh, well.
I think you manifest a little bit what you project.
Yeah, I think so.
It's pretty out there. People do that. That's in the faith aspect. When you if people do pray, you kind of like it is a bit of a mantra to self-manifest the things you pray for.
Yeah. Do I want to have a child and have a husband?
Not today, but at some point, I could see you doing that. I think you. I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but I could.
No, yeah, I do actually. I just don't think it's possible. That's one thing because, well, bad experiences too get in the way, and it's really, really, really difficult to date in general. And then on top of that, society, I think it's hard to date. But yeah, I do.
Well, don't date society, date individuals.
Well, yeah. But they're not that easy to meet either.
There's several billion people on the planet.
Yeah, where are all of them?
Exactly. Look around, just check underneath your drawers or in the bathroom. You might be hiding behind the couch. No, there are people beyond. Yeah. But also at the same time, if you're not, someone once said to me, maybe I shouldn't have taken this too hard. Go on, if you're walking in one direction and someone catches your eye going the direction you just came from, unless you know you're going the wrong way. Like if you don't have a plan, if there's no destination, don't go changing your plans to change your path. That's it. Because it'll take a lot longer to get back on your path again. You'll meet people along the way. That's it. Who share common interests and goals and aspirations, and you yourself will feel more fulfilled with those people when you arrive there.
Yeah, I think that's true. Feels like more of a flow.
Yeah, that's a flow. Man, that was a flow statement long ago. Exactly. Yeah, go with the flow, but don't be so caught up in the flow that you get lost in the wind.
What does that mean?
Like you blow away like a seed on a dandelion.
But how can you be too much in the flow?
Where maybe where you just caught up. If we were to use the flow in the terms of like water flowing, and it's going the right direction, and maybe you hit the rapids and there's like a split, or you get caught up in the rocks or the weeds, it's possible to be stuck. Yeah, and spend a lot of time waiting in the weeds.
Because you arrived too early?
Because you arrived too early?
Well, how did you end up in the weeds?
A lack of self-awareness of like, where am I going in the flow?
Oh. And what's the opposite of that again? If you don't go anywhere because you're too caught up in your thoughts, I guess?
There you go.
Huh. Well, yeah, balance.
I think you're brilliant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really like you. I don't have a word, though. I can't think of a word. What's a good word for you?
It's just the statement on its face value. What is a good word for you?
Well, I thought of a word already.
Okay, go with it.
I think you're honorable.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you truly care about other people. Not to say that I don't. I do too. But it's hard to describe.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll wear that like a badge of honor. I appreciate that.
And I think you're truly grateful too.
I am. Yeah. I gotta, and I think I need moments of being reminded of that. I think you are too. I think you do have a lot of gratitude for things in your life.
Yeah, when I remember to focus on it. I remember thinking a while ago, whenever you're in hell, there's like keys. There's like these secret keys out of hell. And one of them is like if you can actually get yourself to focus on what you're actually grateful for. But you actually have to be authentically grateful for it. You can't just use something that you think you should be grateful for. Like you have to actually be grateful for it. So, yeah. That's a key out of hell.
Oh, that's a good key to know.
Sometimes the keys don't always work, but yeah.
Right.
Anyways, I hope never to be in hell again. Not that metaphorically, your mind here, the hell of whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you don't have to be in hell either.
Yeah.
Hell's like losing your house key and then accidentally putting in your car key and starting up the whole house.
I don't understand that.
I'm actually now that I'm reminding myself of saying that and you said keys. There's Stephen Wright does this comedic bit, and he says I came home drunk one night, and I put my car keys in my apartment building door, and I started up the building, and I'm driving around the block. I got pulled over for speeding. Yeah.
I don't know that.
Funny.
Well, Yeah. Huh.
Personification.
Okay, I kind of lost track of the joke in the middle. Can you tell it one more time?
No. Actually, Stephen Wright does this joke about putting your car keys. I'm gonna look it up. Stephen Wright. I'll share it with you, and you can maybe chuckle later.
Thank you. I've never heard of Stephen Wright.
Oh, you would love him. I'm presuming you love him. Yeah. He's
I'll definitely check him out. Think about it.
Yeah. Here. I'll just send you. How do I send you something? Oh. Wow. Okay. You can look at it in a bit.
I think WhatsApp does work best with the website browser. But thank goodness you get your phone back. Anyways, yeah, I forgot.
Yes. I am so. I was hoping it was going to be back at the end of the day because the guy. Some people were trying to call me because my phone goes off at work all day, all the time.
Oh,
and
man.
the guy said, hey, your phone has been found. No need to call it anymore. And I was like, oh, I'm not calling it, but that's cool. And he'll drop it off. Can't guarantee he'll be there by the end of the day, but for sure tomorrow. And then, so I was like, okay. And then I was looking at the Find My Phone app, and I was like, oh, he's coming back to Toronto. They just came back from Oshawa. And then, because I could see my phone, and then I'd see my phone going down to Niagara Falls, and going, oh, the phone's not off the train yet. And then at the end of the workday, it was like, oh, my phone's back in Oshawa. I was like, oh, come on, guy. You could have just taken the phone off of the train. And now it's off of the train.
Yeah.
I know, it's an exciting story.
No, I get it. You're like, oh, if only that had only happened. It would have been a lot more. But I'm worried because, I don't know when the snow is supposed to start or how bad it's going to be, but...
Oh, yeah.
But it might not be the best day to travel. Although if you're taking the train, but still. You have to, if you have to drive to Aldershot, I guess I recommend doing it as soon as possible. If you have to do it.
Yeah,
It's more.
10 a.m. to 5.
Yeah, so I would get there for 10 then, because I'm not sure, because the news said it, I checked the forecast earlier today, and it said it was going to start snowing around 8 a.m., and it wasn't going to stop snowing for 2 days.
Wow, that's going to be the best.
Yeah, so good. Are you responsible for the snow shoveling?
Yep.
Oh my god. So,
Yeah.
good luck.
Thanks, Nicole. Thanks.
I can help you if you need help. You have 2 shovels?
Yeah, come on over. Maybe come here and give me help with a head start.
Yeah, and then we can make hot chocolate.
Oh yeah, you come over and we will make hot chocolate.
Yeah, but also most of my neighbors have snow blowers.
Wow. Sometimes someone comes over through the neighborhood with a snowblower, and the city will plow the sidewalk like they did tonight. They came late, but the sidewalk was already clear, at least in front of my house.
Yes, then you have to redo it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they really made a mess of it, and I had to shovel where the tracks went by. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy with them. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Me either. Well, I like the snow, but I worry about all the old people who don't have shovels and can't shovel.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, you should have come over.
Yeah. When it snows.
Oh, but before snows. Then you get snowed in here.
Yeah. That sounds very romantic.
Right? Being stuck indoors for 2 days.
I don't think hopefully it won't be that bad at the start though.
I don't think I will be.
Okay.
I think it takes a moment to ramp up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you have a solid 3 hours in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. If I got up at, like, if I leave at, let's say, like, 8:30, and I'd be on the train, come back, I could work out. In fact, I don't even need to take the train to Aldershot. I could just take it somewhere here in Hamilton, and then I don't even need to drive to the GO station. I could just take the train.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my thinking. Yeah, my friend Kirk was going to come visit tonight. He lives in Kincardine.
Where's that?
It's on Lake Huron. Have you ever heard of
Oh,
Bruce
that's
Power?
far.
Yeah.
Bruce Power?
Yeah, it's like a power generator.
Yeah.
And they live like about 45 minutes away, not even half an hour away from there. So that's kind of like how I describe it. It's like on Lake Huron. And it's really beautiful where they live. And they moved there during the pandemic, like when everybody was moving out of Toronto. And it's almost like cottage country. But they were going to come visit because his partner's mom lives here in Hamilton. And so he's like, hey, why don't we hang out on Valentine's Day? And I was like, really? Okay, we could do that. But it didn't work out because he was like, it's going to snow too much. I was like, I think it's going to snow a lot. And he's like from up north, so it's even more snowy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I canceled the whole trip. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it won't snow. Maybe he jinxed it.
Maybe. I hate when that happens when I go, oh, maybe there'll be snow, and it turns out, no snow.
I know. And then you actually change your plans. That's the worst. But if you push through, it could be life-threatening. So.
Yes, there's always that. It could be life-threatening. Man. I'm looking at quickly the forecast, and just so Saturday -1.5, but it says like 10 centimeters. It doesn't 15. So Sunday is going to be the big day for snow.
Crap. I mean, that's the day I have to go out. So tomorrow I could do whatever I want?
Maybe.
Well, I don't have to go out. I'm supposed to
you
go to
have to.
Mass. Supposed to go to Mass on Sunday. I rejoined the choir. I don't know if I told you. Yeah, I think I did. I told you how I quit the anyways, I stopped going to church for a couple months. When I stopped the day that Donald Trump... I stopped the day they announced the election results. And now I have returned. And not last Sunday, but 2 Sundays. No, wait, was it last Sunday? Yeah, 2 Sundays ago I went to Mass, and then last Sunday I went to Mass, and then I finally asked if I could rejoin. I had to take an ego hit, that's what I'd call it. But I finally swallowed my pride, and I asked if I could rejoin the choir, and they said yes, so.
Wow.
Yeah. I had quite the disagreement with the choir director, and it was more political than anything. But ultimately it doesn't matter, so I still want to be able to learn from him, because he's a very good teacher. I was like, I need to not be so judgmental of other people, I guess. I don't know.
Are you judgmental?
I can be. I try not to be, but when people piss me off, it's just like the judgment comes out, and I just give them what I call it a bitch slap, and I just hit them with the really good points, and they know it's true, but it's in a hurtful way sometimes. Not in a hurtful way, but not bad. But it wasn't. No, I didn't attack. I wasn't bullying. His name's Graham. Okay, this is what happened. It was like a huge build-up. It was a huge build-up of lots of different things.
Yeah.
And then Donald Trump won, and then someone made a joke in the group chat, which I deemed inappropriate. So that's what I mean by judgmental. And then I privately messaged and asked about that, like what that meant. And then that led down a conversation which actually kind of got out of hand, and I didn't mean for it to get out of hand.
Wow. So did you shit on Donald Trump? Is what you did?
Well, it wasn't it wasn't specifically political. It was more about, I had a complaint that like I felt that different people had been mistreated in the church, young females specifically, and I thought that like I basically let him have a full piece of my full mind. And usually I don't let people in all the way, but I really let him know what I thought of different, like he didn't, okay, maybe I'll just tell you bluntly. Basically, there was this guy who, honestly, he has the face of a demon, but that's neither here nor there. But I think that if anyone needs an exorcist, it's that guy. Not that I fully believe in that kind of thing, but
Go on, girl.
but the Catholic people have their way of, I don't know, I guess it kind of is a cult in some kind of sense, but it's kind of fun, and it's been around for a long time, and it seems to do good. More good than bad. I don't know. But, so, okay, so I'm Catholic. And so this guy has the face of a demon, and he's kind of weird, and of course, like me, I'm 31, well now I'm 32, and of course me, like, I am thinking about trying to get married, and it is hard to meet people, and, so I was like, oh, I need to go to church, right? I need to, like, have a weekly routine where I meet the same people and can develop relationships with them, and I'm still paying back my student loans, so I was like, what, a golf and country club? I can't afford it, so it's church. And, but there were a lot more motivations, like, way more important, like, to me, motivations that were bigger, like protecting my mental health with a weekly routine, and having access to the music and the peace of the environment itself I really like. But of course in the back of my mind I'm thinking, I hope I do kind of meet somebody who is the right person and things just click. And that did not happen, and I was like, okay, whatever, like, I'm used to it, so okay. And then one mass, I was praying for the whole entire mass to send me a husband. And then right at the end, this really handsome guy walked in, and that ended up being the choir director, this is like a long story, but the current choir director kind of lost his mind, and so he got kind of fired, and that caused hurt feelings for him. And I got a letter from the archbishop. I can't remember how high up. I have it over on my bookshelf. But anyways, I got a letter from the archbishop, which made me feel very important, because it was a very big deal. That's the other thing I like about going to church is the drama. Oh, inevitably people get into drama while in these institutions that are basically socialism, right? Like a church is full socialism, but with the leader being the priest. Well, luckily at St. Anne's, I like the priest. I approve of his leadership, so I'm very willing to accept it.
Wow. Nice.
But yeah, so I got a letter from the archbishop because the current, I don't know what the drama exactly was about, but officially what they said was that he wasn't, why did he have to step down? What did they say? It's something about not following anyways, he pissed off this girl who was in the choir, well, this woman. Her name was Candia. And Candia happened to be friends with the bishop because she's a consecrated nun. And so she complained to first the priest, who did nothing because he's very diplomatic. And it's hard to say what's the right thing to do in these situations anyways. And then so she complained. She went over him to the archbishop, and then I guess she had a good point, because the archbishop fired the choir director, and it almost caused our mass to be canceled. And there's only so the Roman Catholic mass, there's this weird diverge where some people want to keep be very traditional, and some people want to move towards less traditional ways of worship. Anyway, so I happened to have landed, not because I chose it, but just happened to have chosen it randomly, and then I liked it. But I'm at the Latin Mass, which is kind of on its way out in the Catholic Church, and there's like a fight to preserve it.
Okay.
So like this
What
caused
happened at the Latin
major
Mass?
drama because like it was a threat to the Latin Mass existing at all. So the Latin Mass is like done fully in Latin.
Oh, I see.
And I like singing in Latin, and I like it. It's nice. I've got used to it, but yes, I don't really understand the words. Well, I understand some of the words, but
Okay.
although you can read the English beside if you have the book that people bring with them, the what is it called, the Missal. That's one thing I like about Catholicism as well. There's all these made up words they made up specifically for their stuff that I like Missal and tabernacle and there's a whole bunch. There's many words that they made up, so I love it.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's like learning another language practically. I like church a lot. I really love church. But I would not really consider myself like I don't really fit in at church. I don't feel like I fit in anyways. Also, I love it because it's an excuse to get dressed up, and the Catholic people are all for that because they think it's not, they hardly even take off their coats usually, especially when it's cold, but, so it's not to impress other people, it's to impress God. They believe in dressing up so that they can impress God, like, they believe in, like, bringing your best, like, they think God deserves, like, beauty, so, like, you have to give your best to God, and I like that idea, and I like the excuse of getting dressed up because I love it. Like, where else would I wear my clothes? So, yeah. Which, like, I feel like these are maybe not, like, I wouldn't share all these thoughts with the people at church, you know?
Right. That's I like this idea. Yeah, people dress up in their Sunday bests
Yep.
For church. I even see it in the church across the street. There's like three different congregations in there, and I love the way they dress up. Sometimes the first one, the Eucharist Church, they're very casual on there.
Oh, you live by Eucharist Church? Oh, they're a hippie. Well, they started out as very hipster. I was part of that church at the very beginning of it. Oh, God,
They're so hipster, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about being at the very beginning of that whole movement, but I don't know.
Tell me about it.
Well, I don't know if, I can't say, because I shouldn't say whether that church is, like, I don't know if I approve of that church or not, but I think some of the information that I got was maybe incorrect, so I don't have firsthand knowledge, so I can't really say, but I don't know if I trust, but they made really good soup. Like, my sister got involved with them, and then I really noticed that these hipsters, so like this was like right when hipsters started being a thing in downtown Hamilton, and it was like right when Art Crawl happened, and that Eucharist Church started on that factory building on Cumberland, and it was so beautiful, and they had like some of the women in the group had made beautiful decorations, and like we were worshiping God in this loft, and it was just done in such style, and they were so good at cooking. Those hipsters, I don't know if all hipsters know how to cook, but the hipsters in Hamilton that were part of that church really knew how to cook, and they made the best soups absolutely. Oh, I miss those days because I really miss those soups, and the people themselves were also very interesting to look at, but I didn't quite trust them. That was the problem. It was like, hard to put my finger on, and also because I haven't been there in so long, it's hard for me to even remember, but I remember having a general impression that I didn't quite trust them. But they made such good soups, and they were very good at music. So good at music. They had excellent taste.
Right? Man.
Maybe they were trustworthy. Maybe I don't know. But I remember there was something not quite copacetic.
I don't know what it is.
But I kind of feel that about every church. So maybe I'm being too harsh on them.
Yeah, they're like, if I I was to open my front door, I'm looking right at their front door.
How do they dress now, these days?
And they still dress like hipsters. That's what they're kind of like a cool casual. That's what I like about them.
Yeah, and in the summer, like, all the guys roll up their pants and wear Birkenstocks, right?
Well, some of them do. Some of them, like, you know, I've seen them over the last few years. Like, I've seen them, like, now they have families and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they all have families, too. And then they raise their cute little kids, and they always, like, it's, like, always about the aesthetic, which I'm okay with. But, like, oh, man, they are really into having kids, too. I don't know, but that's kind of seems like a every religion kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it, like, almost feels like a status symbol. I don't know. It just feels so, like, God, they do it so good. Like, they make it look good anyways. They make them look cute.
Yeah. I see the little kids with their, like, plaid shirts and bow ties. And like, oh, man. I want some little kids like that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Wait, do you want to have kids?
Yeah, I definitely want some kids. I wish I would have had kids a few years ago, like before the snowfall.
You mean the
so they could
pandemic?
cover the sidewalk. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was hard to predict that one. Didn't see that one coming. But
No.
anyways, yeah.
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 There's still hope.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. I'm just praying for God to leave a baby on my doorstep in the warmer weather.
I don't know. It just caused me to cry so much in the past that I had to, like, really kind of force myself to think about my life in a way where it didn't include children, like, as an exercise. And I've been doing that for a while now, actually. And it's been working. I don't feel sad.
Oh, wow, you sound like you convinced yourself there. Listen, why don't you go to the Eucharist church? I'm sure you'll be married and preggers tomorrow. On Sunday.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the problem. Unfortunately, I am not... Okay, meeting men at church is especially tricky because I noticed I'm very concerned about being controlled, and I don't want to be controlled. And my relationship with God, my take on God seems to, and I haven't been super open with a lot of the religious people, but my take on God seems to be quite different than a lot of people's take on God in general. Like, in general, I believe most of everything. It's not even about the details of what I believe and what I don't believe. But I just have a feeling that I don't quite fit the mold. I don't know. Maybe other people would agree with me. But, yeah. So, like, it's tricky because I find, like, I don't want to disappoint a man who might have a lot of ideas about what a woman should be or is, although that's kind of outside of religion. But, like, I don't know.
Well, is it?
Like, okay, for example, like, one of the guys that I met through church, one thing I really liked, his name was Mark, and I really liked that he was very observant, although he was very awkward, and I don't know, maybe kind of on the spectrum, although he was very smart, and on paper it made sense, and then I was like, maybe God wants it to work, which, no, because I think usually if it's gonna work, it's gonna work. But anyways, although he did make me kind of laugh, but ultimately, I could tell that he didn't like the way I thought, and, one time, like, I got that butterfly tattoo on my wrist, right? Well, he noticed it right away. Hardly anyone notices it at all, but he noticed it. He's very observant, and I could just tell, like, he's like, is it real? Is it real? And I could just tell that, like, it was like seeing a thought go through his head, like, I don't know if I want to be married to some woman who would get a tattoo. And it's like, so obviously...
How dare you desecrate your skin? Yeah.
I don't know if he thinks about it like that, but maybe. I don't know. I think he wants to be within his comfort zone, and I'm not that. So, but, like, that's not just that guy. Like, I don't want the guy to impose too much religion onto me. Like, I've seen a lot of guys at church are like that. Like, they think it's their duty, and like they force they're like militant. Like, they're like, I don't know, it feels kind of abusive, but like, I don't know, teach their own and their own dynamic. But like, sometimes it's like militant and like, we need to pray and this is my job to save your soul, and like I don't know, like